Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are doing a WAKOOSHI S3 Outworld review. So let's get straight into it. So these are all the parts you get with the WAKOOSHI Outworld kit, and you've got everything you need here. And the first thing you need to do is to get the tiny little piece of acrylic and the little box kind of looking like a module connector thing, and this little connector will connect your Outworld up to different nests and different things like that. So all you have to do first of all is get these screws screwed in so this acrylic is nice and tight and sturdy down. So make sure you stay all the way to the end of the video to see what species are getting into this Outworld. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you go down below and like and subscribe. So this is the next thing you want to do. You want to get this little bit of 3D printed cutout, and you want to get the piece of acrylic with the cutout that fits in that perfectly. And then as you can see here, these two pieces go onto each other like that. And then you just screw straight through into the module that you've already screwed the acrylic onto. So you screw through these holes that I'm showing you now, and then it goes on nice and sturdy just like this. So now it is nice and tight, and that is very strong. So let's go on to the next step. So the next step you want to do, you want to get these little 3D printed things, and there's two different types of these. There's one with 2 holes and 3 holes, and this is the one with 3 holes. So there's one on the bottom on that side and then 2 on the other side, and you need to screw from the bottom up. And then you've also got the other square piece of acrylic that you need to do the same thing on. So you also want to get the little triangle cut onto these ones here and screw these onto this piece as well, which I'll show you these now. So when you've got them all screwed in, it'll look like this, and you use this little tool here if you're wondering what that's for, if you just got one of these Outworlds, and it helps you to hold it still as you tighten it. I'm showing you that's what you do. So now I've got all these corners in on both pieces. So this is what your piece should be looking like with all the 3D printed little corners on, and you need to make sure you do that on the other piece of square acrylic as well. And then when you've done that, you need to screw the rectangular piece of acrylic into the extra holes onto the little cutouts, and then you need to do the same thing on your other square piece of acrylic. And I was putting it on the wrong way there, make sure you don't do that. So all you have to do now is line up the circles, screw it in like this, and now I've got half of it, I just need to get the other half screwed in. So now the other half is screwed in as well, and then it connects up really nicely like this, and there you can see your shape of your Outworld. And as you could probably guess already, you just need to screw in the last 4 holes, so this one here, this one there, and then the same on the other side diagonally, just there, and then it is near enough done, so let's get them screwed. But just before that, I remembered there's one more step that we just missed out, and as I mentioned earlier, there's the 2-pin 3D printed cutouts as well, and these are the 2-pin 3D cutouts, and this is where these go. So just before you screw the main box together, just to make it a bit easier, if you've already screwed the box together, you can still do this afterwards, but you get the 2-pin ones and screw them in place like that. And you can do it when the box is together, it's just a bit more awkward because the rest of the box is in the way. So there you go, that's what it will look like when you've got the 2 pins screwed in as well. So as I was mentioning earlier, screw these in now, and there we go. It is screwed in and it is proper sturdy, to be fair. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere at all. So let's jump on to the next step. And the next step is to screw the base on. So make sure you've got it at the bottom. So there's 6 holes that you need to screw it in, as you can see, and then make sure it's at the bottom so you can see that part's the bottom. Don't screw the bottom on the top. Right, so let's get the screws screwed in. And you can see now that the screws are screwed in, it's really sturdy, rock solid. Give it a good trusty tap of my knuckle and it seems fine. So let's get the top piece on, and you just have to do the same thing as the bottom, screw the 6 holes in, and it's that simple. So as you can see now, the 6 screws are now in. Now they are in, the 6 screws are now in. And there you go, there is your full Outworld nearly. We just need to put the lid together, which is 3 more screws, and then we're done. This only took me probably about 10-15 minutes at it, but I've done 3 now, so I do get a bit faster at it. So it is quite fast to put together really. These 3 last screws, and that is it. That's all the screws in, and now we can start to do the fun bit and start to decorate our Outworld. And just to say, if you are a bit special like me, you can end up dropping your lid into that Outworld, so make sure you put it on slowly and take your time putting it on, because you don't want to drop it on any ants. So here is the finished result, and I think it was really good. I think WAKOOSHI have definitely done a good job on their range of Outworlds. I do really like the WAKOOSHI Outworlds. and I think they are really good. And stay tuned because we'll be showing you what species we are adding to this out mold as well as, and as you can see here, they do give you some free spare pieces afterwards, so you get 2 of the corner pieces and then you get quite a lot of spare screws just in case you drop any. And also, if you haven't checked out our store, go down to the link below. It will be the top link in our description. We have got our own website now where we sell ants, live queen ants. Only in the UK we ship live queen ants, so, and we have Antaid on there, our own personal ant nectar, and it's awesome. And we also have coming very, very soon, probably about a week from when this video goes live, some of our own nests, our first nest coming out on our store, so stay tuned for that. And let's get cracking into setting up the nest. So I had a bit of leftover sand, and basically what happened, if you don't watch the channel much, you wouldn't know that we have tropical fire ants, and my tropical fire ants, I was feeding them in the test tube earlier. I opened the test tube, there's about 50 workers in there, so I'm sure you know how hard it is to feed them as they're always at the cotton. So I opened the cotton and 2 workers come rushing out. Put them in this little tub, quick, just make a little tub, and they start to walk over the little barrier that they've got. So I quickly just left them there, got this out mold from downstairs because we didn't have any use for them, we didn't know what we were going to use it for a while. Got this out mold and started setting up, and as you can see I had a little feed dishes in there with an old mealworm, so let's get that on the way. So there is the nest, there's some sand in, and I think it looks really, really cool. So this is basically going to be a test tube with like a test tube out mold setup, I think that's what they call it, where you just have a test tube in a box where the ants can't escape. So then you can use the nest, the test tube is the nest, and the out mold for the food area, rubbish area, different things like that. So I'll be able to grow my Solenopsis geminata very big in this setup, and then by the time they're big enough I can connect up a Wakooshi MS nest to this out mold when they're nice and big. So that was my main problem that I had, because I didn't know what I was going to do with these fire ants, and there's a few escaped in this tub at the moment because I fed them, and I think 2 escaped. So with the MS nest I was worried because I tried to grow my fire ants as big as they could, because the MS nest is quite big, so it would have been a big jump. So I'm really glad I thought of this idea to do this setup with the test tubes in this out mold. And then our next step is to get the Wakooshi oil barrier and spread it around the top, because we definitely don't want these fire ants escaping. I am not actually 100% sure if Wakooshi rate this out mold for micro species, but I do think they do. So fingers crossed we don't have escapees and they can fit through like tiny little cracks inside, but I don't think they can. So let's get this all over the top, because they can definitely fit on the vents in the lid. So let's spread this out, and if you want to see us adding the ants, because I'm sorry but I can't show us adding the ants into this video as well, because it would just take the shine off actually showing the out mold and everything, and then it would take the shine off the ants themselves. So we'll be doing a full video on that on Friday, because we post every Monday and Friday now, so twice a week we're grinding out and getting as many videos as we can out for you, so make sure you stay tuned. So we'll get this later on and we'll head over to the outro. So thanks for watching this week's video. I hope you've learned a lot about the WAKOOSHI S3 Out mold, and if you've enjoyed this content, make sure you go down below, like, subscribe, and if you would check out our store, it would be very much appreciated. So thanks very much, and we'll see you next Friday.